Northern Michigan is experiencing a hidden real estate boom that most home buyers won't realize until it's too late. In the past year alone, certain towns in this region have seen a 10% increase in prices. But what's truly shocking isn't just the growth. It's that 3 specific towns are outpacing the other towns in this area, and for completely unexpected reasons. I've spent the last 20 years working in Northern Michigan real estate, and I've never seen a growth spurt like this before. Today, I'm breaking down the top Northern Michigan towns that you should consider before values soar even higher. Petoskey has always been the picture-perfect postcard town. They've got great shops, great dining, and a place that wealthy people have been spending their summers for what seems like forever. But here's the crazy thing. This town is going through the biggest expansion that it's seen in its entire history. And it's completely changing who can actually afford to live here. Now, why is Petoskey booming? I would say it's because of its strategic location. It's both a great town to spend the summers in, as well as a up-and-coming booming seasonal economy. Petoskey is a well-established tourist destination, and there are some major housing developments up and coming that are going to solve the housing shortage crisis in Petoskey. Also, let's not forget the prime Lake Michigan waterfront, which this town is built on. There is currently a housing explosion happening right here at Petoskey, with so many units about to come to market. The first key development is the Michigan Maple Block repurposing. They are taking an old brownfield and turning it into an apartment complex that's going to have 200 units. Just down the road from there, we have the Lumber Loft Square, which is going to bring 60 additional units to the market. Now, both of these projects are going to be apartments that range between $1,000 and $1,500 per month for a rental unit. The target market for these rentals are people making between $50,000 and $120,000 per year, which happens to be the sweet spot of people living and working in Petoskey. These are the first major workforce housing developments in decades in this area. Now let's talk about some corporate growth. Astor Brands is investing $7 million in Harbor Springs, and that's going to come along with 15 high-paying jobs. Also, we've seen a 27% population growth in Petoskey in the last 10 years. The development here isn't just about new places to live and new places to work. There are also some major improvements coming to the cultural scene. In fact, Crooked Tree Art Center in downtown Petoskey is investing $1 million to upgrade their facility. What makes Petoskey's growth different from other development cycles is just how balanced it is. It's not just vacation homes or workforce housing. It's a comprehensive approach. Of course, the Gaslight District is thriving year-round, and not just during the tourist season. We're seeing tech companies and manufacturing continue to choose this area sheerly because of the quality of life. And quality of life is super important when trying to attract employees. One of the most significant shifts is in healthcare, with McLaren Northern Michigan's expansion and growing medical cannabis. Petoskey has become a legitimate healthcare employment hub. And I always say an area needs 2 major things to have a ton of relocation potential: quality healthcare and great schools. I'm proud to say that Petoskey has both of those, which is why I think you continue to see retirees and people who care about quality schools relocating to this area in droves. In fact, when you mix in the picturesque views of Lake Michigan that surround Petoskey, a really nice downtown with great restaurants and great shoppings, tons of stuff to do, whether it's outdoor recreation or going to see a show at the Gaylord Center for the Arts, mixed with quality healthcare and quality schools, you will continue to see Petoskey to grow for years and years to come. Now let's dive into the numbers to show Petoskey's growth story. In just 2 years, the median sale price in Petoskey has gone from $387,000 to $425,000. That's a 12.3% increase in just 2 short years. Now, with the median sale price in the state of Michigan growing at just 5.1% per year, you can see in the numbers why Petoskey has become so popular. The story that is really compelling is the days on market metric. Now, this is a key metric in determining how strong a real estate market is. The longer houses sit on the market, the worse the market is. The quicker they sell, obviously, the better the market is. In 2023, the average days on market in Petoskey was 42 days. When I last looked, it had dropped to just 19 days on market, even with higher interest rates and lower inventory. Our own data brokerage shows that 68% of the houses in Petoskey are receiving multiple offers right now. That is up from just 23% in 2023. The inventory situation also tells a compelling story. Right now, Petoskey has a 1.8 month supply of listings on the market. Typically, when we see anything less than 6 months, we consider it a seller's market, with 6 months being a balanced market and anything over 6 months being a buyer's market. This shortage of inventory is driving a ton of competition, specifically in the $300,000 to $500,000 range. This range has seen a 17% increase in price over the last couple of years, and this is sheerly from the amount of demand that price range sees. When there's a ton of demand and low supply, Econ 101 tells us prices are going to go up. For investors, the numbers are particularly attractive. Currently, we're seeing about a 6.8% cap rate on investment property in Petoskey, with short-term rentals in some cases hitting between 12 and 15% in peak summer months. And in case you're wondering, our vacation rental occupancy is right around 87%. That's way up compared to the national average of just 58% for short-term rentals. Now, the next town is one of my personal favorites, but if this content is your type of thing, make sure you hit the subscribe button. That way you never miss one of my videos. I would love for you to become part of this growing community here in Northern Michigan, and myself and my team work very hard to make you the most high-quality videos about Northern Michigan real estate that we release every week. So make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out. If Petoskey represents Northern Michigan's historic charm, our next town showcases exactly what happens when a traditional Northern Michigan town hits a real estate explosion. Gaylord used to be a place where people would get off from I-75 to venture throughout Northern Michigan to find their final destination. But now it's the hottest real estate market in all of Northern Michigan. I'm seeing houses sell in literal days, sometimes even hours, and for way above asking price. And the craziest part, most buyers and sellers don't even know why this is happening. What's fascinating about Gaylord's transformation is just how intentional it has been. The Shape the Future of Downtown Gaylord initiative has completely reimagined the town center. When I first started selling real estate about 20 years ago, downtown Gaylord was sort of sleepy. There was a lot of vacancies and not a lot of new businesses moving. Today, downtown Gaylord is a vibrant place. Tons of new businesses, tons of new stores, and even a bunch of new restaurants. And the town has accomplished something very difficult. It has kept its alpine theme while experiencing the biggest redevelopment and growth in its history. The charm is still there, but now it's mixed with some of the best amenities you'll find in anywhere in Northern Michigan. The balance really appeals to buyers who want the small town feel without giving up a ton of amenities that they're used to. Now, if you're looking for the best resource for all things new coming to Northern Michigan, sent directly to your inbox for free every week, then you need to subscribe to our email newsletter by clicking the link in the description below. It's a great resource for positive news in Northern Michigan, as well as places to eat and things to do. So make sure you check it out by subscribing using the link in the description below. Now let me share with you some of the numbers that make Gaylord so remarkable. In 2023, the median home price in Gaylord was just under $220,000. Fast forward to today, and that same median home price is over $250,000. That's a 14.5% increase. Believe it or not, that's even a greater increase than Traverse City has seen. The velocity of sales in Gaylord is also breathtaking. In 2023, homes on the market in Gaylord took about 38 days to sell. Fast forward again to today, and those houses are taking just 8 days to sell. Our brokerage data is showing that 43% of those houses are selling in the first week, and 31% are selling for over asking price. New construction permits also tell another story. In 2024, there were 127 new construction housing permits granted, which sounds impressive until you look at today, where 325 new housing permits have been issued. The severe construction deficit is creating a supply crunch that continues to drive prices upwards. This growth has caused many investors to become interested in Gaylord. In fact, the average price for rent there went from $1,200 to just $1,800 in a couple of years, with rental vacancies at a very small 1.2%, with typical tenancy, meaning how long somebody stays in a unit, being well over 2 years. It seems like when people move to Gaylord, even if it's just to rent, they end up staying for a long period of time. Now, one of the most telling statistics that we're tracking is 73% of the people relocating to Gaylord are doing so from out of state and even some instances out of country. In fact, I recently helped somebody relocate here from Germany. While Gaylord's real estate market is heating up, our next town offers something a little bit different, a great downtown with a small town feel. Now, Charlevoix might be the smallest town on our list. You can literally throw a rock from Lake Michigan into Lake Charlevoix. Now, I'm kidding, but it's not far off. But don't let that fool you. This town has seen a tremendous amount of demand for waterfront. Beyond the real estate numbers, Charlevoix offers a rich, cultural, art scene, tons of year-round events, and one of the cutest downtowns of anywhere in Northern Michigan. The downtown is incredibly vibrant. They have some of the best restaurants in Northern Michigan, as well as some of the most sought-after shops. One thing that I've always thought was interesting about Charlevoix is that you can't get through Charlevoix without driving through its downtown, which is basically a giant advertisement for the downtown area. One thing that I personally like about Charlevoix is that even though they have a ton of activities and a very busy downtown, it is still a very relaxing place to live. In fact, a lot of people don't know this about Charlevoix, but if you get a few miles out of town, you're going to feel like you live in the middle of the country, yet still able to drive into town to experience all downtown Charlevoix has to offer. And like the other towns we've talked about today, Charlevoix real estate values have seen a drastic increase. In fact, in 2023, the median sale price in Charlevoix was $294,000. Now fast forward to today, where the median sale price is $350,000. That's an 18.8% jump. And believe it or not, that 18.8% jump is one of the highest in the entire state. But that headline figure doesn't tell the whole story. When you break down the numbers by property type, it really tells a fascinating story. Waterfront properties, whether on Lake Charlevoix, Lake Michigan, or Round Lake, have appreciated by 27.3%, with the average price of being on the water in Charlevoix coming in at $872,000. Properties with water views but no water access saw an appreciation rate of 19.1%, while properties with inland water saw a raise of 11.4%. Homes within walking distance of the water saw a 42% change in value. That is a tremendous increase. And it's also worth noting that you can buy a house in Charlevoix, not directly on the water, but still have access to the water whenever you'd like for much lesser than being directly on the water. Some other interesting statistics are 68% of the people that bought in Charlevoix bought second homes, meaning they don't live here full time. Chicago, Detroit, and Indianapolis continue to be places that people relocate to Charlevoix from. Chicago has always been a popular destination for people living in Charlevoix because it's just a short ride up the coast away. One thing that excites me a lot about Charlevoix is just how many more developments they have coming, some that we can't even talk about yet. After helping hundreds of families buy and sell in Northern Michigan over the last 20 years, here's what I've learned. Each town in Northern Michigan offers something different. One of the things I personally love about Northern Michigan is just how many different versions of lifestyles there are here. Whether you want to be in the country and have your own garden, or live downtown where you can walk to the shops and restaurants, Northern Michigan truly has something for everyone. And it is one of the rare places where you get to enjoy all four seasons. Northern Michigan isn't trying to be Austin or Nashville. We're trying to do things our own way and grow in the most sensible way possible. With so many people relocating to Northern Michigan and many others wanting to keep Northern Michigan the way it was, I think these local communities are doing a great job of trying to balance both spectrums. If you're considering relocating to Northern Michigan, I'd love to be your guide. I know these towns inside and out, and I've sold homes all over Northern Michigan. Feel free to call me at 231-487-6141 or send me an email at gino@ginodangelo.com to get the process started. I would love to learn more about you and your unique situation and find out exactly how I can help you make the move to Northern Michigan. Before you go, if you enjoyed this video about how Northern Michigan is growing, check out my next video right here. I talk about over $650 million in new improvements coming to Northern Michigan. Catch you on the next one.